Yeah, morning all. So in the yesterday's demo session, right, I was just briefing you about Python. Just let us have a quick review what we have discussed. So Python, why Python, who can learn Python and how it was built, Python features and Python comparison with other programming and reasons why Python is suddenly super popular and Python scope and job market. Why Python means Python is a general purpose programming. Any kind of applications can be developed. It's not purpose based language. It's not for a particular purpose. Multi-programming features are involved, right? Multi-programming features we see in Python, and it's a high-level language, easily understandable, human understandable, portable, and machine independent. Can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Line by line execution, we are going to see. Interpretation means line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. User friendly programming or programmer friendly programming, which provides simple syntaxes which looks like normal English statements. I said, right, there are two types of languages, low level and high level. Low level languages like assembly level, right, they are not human understandable, they are not portable, they're machine dependent, they cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating systems. They're not human understandable, they are not portable and machine dependent. They cannot run on all the hardware and all the operating system. High level languages, right? Like Python, they are human understandable, they are portable and machine independent. They can run on all the hardware and all the operating system. Python has got multi-programming features, right? What are the features? Means like procedural-oriented programming features, like C language. It has got procedural-oriented programming features like C language. Object-oriented programming features like C++, Java. Scripting features like shell script. Modular programming features like Modular 3, 89,300 modules. Okay. Once again, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's visible.
Is my voice clear or not? Okay. Procedural oriented programming like C language, object oriented programming like C++, Java, scripting like shell script, modular programming features like Modular 3, 89,300 inbuilt modules we got, right? 89,300 inbuilt modules. So here, so I said Java developers or programmers are strictly restricted to object-oriented programming features. Without object-oriented programming, right, there is no Java application or a program that is without class or object, right? And in the, if you go back like 10 to 12 years back, right, yes, Java is mostly used, 43% used in the industry, and Python, if you go back like 10 years, most of them even doesn't know that there is a programming language like Python. And later in 2020, 10 years later, 2020, right, Java usage is 19%, Python usage increased to 31%. So today Python is widely used in different high-end technologies also as an implementation language, and has got wide varieties of applications, right? Just we'll see what are the various types of applications. Web applications, Python is mostly used in creation of web application at a rapid speed. We can develop a web application. Automation applications. Yeah, many automation applications are getting created using the technologies like data science, using technologies like IoT, DevOps, right? Where we are going to implement this in, if example, in data science, total implementation goes in a Python language. In IoT also, most of the time the coding, 90% of the coding done in Python, and in DevOps also. For big data, even for big data environment, like Spark and Hadoop and Spark, like Spark with Python, we call like PySpark. For scientific applications and for numerical analysis, we have got modules like NumPy module, CP module, right? NumPy numerical Python and CP for scientific Python, right? Yes. GUI animations, graphical user interface or animation applications. We have got a TK inter module, PyQt is available for this. Okay. And game development, gaming or for game development, right? Like Pygame, PyCora, PySoy, right? These are these frameworks given by Python. Especially for developing games in Python, Python providing frameworks like Pygame, PyCora, and PySoy, right? These are the frameworks, and the PySoy is a 3D rendering libraries given by Python for developing 3D games, and Pygame and PyCora are the frameworks given by Python for developing games in Python, right? Yes. And for scheduling tasks, we have got Airflow for it. And for testing or test cases, Python is used. For software development, most of the software developers make use of Python as a support language and test cases. And for, okay, for business applications, right? Python is used to develop e-commerce systems. Python is used to develop e-commerce systems. And for database applications, database applications, and for network programming, right? Network programming and network applications, we have got a separate framework called Twisted Python. And for scraping data from different websites, web scraping, right? We have got URLib module. Yes, for audio and video applications, Tim Player and C Play. And for embedded applications, we have got a Raspberry Pi, the most famous embedded application, Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computation, right? Yes. And for CAD applications and for 3D CAD applications, Python is preferred. And for computer vision, right? Yes. For color detection, object detection, right? Okay. For object detection, color detections, right? We use Python. and for data analysis, and for desktop applications creations, single user applications, and for robotics, right? Yes. So these are the real-time applications, right? Yeah, 1 second. Topmost applications built using Python. Yeah, Google using Python for its web search systems, Yahoo using Python, YouTube using Python for its video sharing service, Uber pricer algorithm implemented in Python, Instagram built by using Python. The prime reason for Instagram for choosing for Python, right? Yes, it's practicality and its simple features, right? And Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, all they got created by using Python. And Netflix, the topmost OTT application, Netflix uses Python for its security automation and for subscription purpose. Massively multiplayer online games. Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python. iRobot for military and commercial applications. Ironport email server, it uses more than 1 million lines of Python code for doing its job, right? Yes, NASA using Python for its research and development activities, right? And BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. Dropbox built by using Python and hardware testing. And reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Okay. Reasons which makes Python super popular. Very less coding we see in Python, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programmings. Simple syntax is given by Python. Multi-programming features we see. Interactive mode.
Sir, what is interactive mode, sir?
Interactive mode means we can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it is going to give response. For example, go to this command prompt in the bottom search panel, right? Type CMD and press enter. Go to the command prompt, right? And type Python here. Python version will be displayed. Python interpreter gets open, right? Python version and Python interpreter gets open. Okay, now here you can type any valid Python statements and you can interact. See, I'm saying, I'm asking Python what is 3 plus 4? What is 5 into 9? It gives the response for every statement we type, right? X value 10, Y value 5, X value, what is Y value, what is X plus Y value, what is X minus Y value, what is X into Y, X into 2, X to the power of 2. Ten into 2, 10 to the power of 2, 10 square 100, right? Yes. Okay. So in this way, any valid statements you can type and you can interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives the response, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. And wide varieties of application. Just now I was talking about many built-in libraries, 89,300 inbuilt modules. Okay. This is what we have discussed, right? Yes. Reasons which makes Python super popular. Python who are using topmost applications built using Python, Python real-time applications, Python features. Okay. People from non-programming background or zero programming, right? You can just observe this coding of Python. So now I will take a task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages. You can just compare other coding with Python code, how simple this Python statements look as compared with other programming languages, right? Yes. Okay. Python comparison with other programming, right? Python comparison with other programming. Okay. I'll take a task. I'll take a task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages, right? Accepting two values from the user keyboard, accepting two values from the user keyboard, right? And performing addition. Accepting two values from the user keyboard and performing addition. So first I'll write this code using Java first. Next I'll try to write using Python. See this coding using Java first. And next I'll come back to this Python, right? Import java.io.star, right? Class sample. I'm using input stream reader, right, equal to new input stream reader of system.in. Yes, buffered reader, right. Input stream reader, buffer reader, right. System.out.println, right. Enter the first number, right. Whatever number you are entering, it is taken as a string format. String s1 equal to br.readline. Yes. Every statement ends with semicolon in Java, right? Yes. So it is taken as string format. We need to convert into integer to perform addition, right? So to convert to integer, int I equal to integer dot parse int, integer dot parse int of s1, right? Yes. These 3 lines again repeat for the second number. Enter the second number, right? Yes. S2 equal to br dot readline, int j equal to s, integer dot parse int of s2. Finally saying I plus j. Yeah, this is the coding in Java, right? So here input stream reader, buffer reader, enter the first number taken as string, converted to integer, enter the second number taken as string, converted to integer, finally saying I plus j, right? Yes, this is what the coding in Java. Just I'll take a minute in showing you the execution in both Java and Python, right? Yes, I'm copying this to a separate notepad file. Okay, Control V, Control S. Python 7am. Python 7am. I'm creating a folder with the name Python 7. Within this, I'll save it with the name sample.java. Now go to this command prompt and just execute it. Cd slash come out of this and says cd Python 7am, right? Java C sample.java. Enter the, okay, you've got some error. There is a typo in string. 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 Yes. Okay, no error now. Java sample. Okay. Now Java sample. Executing the code. Enter the first number 10. Enter the second number 20. Sum is what? 30. This is what the coding in Java, right? Yes. I don't know like how many of you understood this code. It looks a little complex to understand, right? Means what is class? See, the statements looks a little complex to understand. Java statements. What is class? What is public static void main? What is input stream reader? What is buffered reader? Enter the first number, like bo.read line into parse int system out dot. Yes. So in this way, we have got some complex statements in this. With at least you need to have some basic knowledge of this Java to understand this. But you see the code, right? You got some 10 to 12 lines of code, but the same code I'm going to write in Python with not more than 3 lines. The same task I'll try to implement in Python with not more than 3 lines. So just I'll open this Python shell, right? Python shell, file, new file, right? Here itself I can write the code, here itself I can execute the code. So here, right? See this Python statements, they look like normal English statements, very less coding, not even 1/4 coding, right? X equal to input enter value of X. Enter value of X. Enter value of X. Y equal to int of input. Input enter value of Y. Enter value of X, enter value of Y. Print X. See that in the first statement. Input value for X, input value for Y in second line. Print X plus 5. That's it. This is the coding in Python, right? For the same task, this is the coding in Python. Save it, Control S. Extension, right? Execute here itself, we can execute, right? A run option, run a run module. See, enter value of X 10, enter value of Y 20. Sum is 30, right? Enter value of X 10, enter value of Y 20. Sum is what? 30. Okay. So that is what coding in Python. Very less coding we see in Python, right? Yes. Okay. So see the just enter value of x, value of y, print x plus y. That's a complex word in it. Is there any complex word in it wrong? As compared with Java, Java is like a lot of programming knowledge required. One more example, right? Yes. And I'll show you some sample examples now. You can just check how this Python coding looks. X equal to, I'm taking the list of values. 1 second. One more example, right? Just observe this Python coding, right? How it looks. So I'm taking some list of values like 30, 10, 40, 20, 50, right? Yes. List of values. Print x, I'm printing the list as it is. I want to know the number of elements within this list. Len of x. Len of x, right? Print sum of x. Sum of x, right? Sum of all the elements. Sum of all these elements. Len of x is 5. Sum is what? 150. Print max of x. Print min of x. Max of x 50. Min of x is what? 10. Max of x 50. Min of x 10. Yes. And if I want to arrange all the elements in a particular order, ascending order, right? Say sorted of x. Sorted of x, arranging all the elements in a ascending order. Run module. 10 to 50. If you want in descending order, sorted of x, comma reverse equal to true. Sorted of x equal to reverse sorted of x means ascending. The ascending, if I reverse it, you will get in descending, right? Same function I'm using. If ascending, if you reverse it, you will get in descending. Okay. So for sum of x, sum of all the elements of the list, max of x 50, min of x 10, sorted of x, arranging all the elements in ascending order, sorted of x reverse equal to 2 in descending order, right? For example, I said Python has got a great boom today because of modules concept. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python has got for various domains. Okay. Okay. Just observe this. The importance of model, two things we observe here. The coding of Python is one, and the importance of modules in Python. So here import math module, I'll say import math. DAR of math. Print math. DAR of math module. So it will folder right. Maths.py, right? run module. Okay. Math model. I want to see the directory of the math model. What is present within this math module, right? SQRT, tan, sin, signage, pi, e-value. So all these are the mathematical, what all the properties present within the math module. What are the things present within the math module? I want to print the value of pi. I want to print the value of e. I want to print the value of pi. I want to print the value of e, right? So within this math module, I want to print math.py. I want to print math.e. Math.py, math.e. What are these values of pi and e? Run module. Pi value 3.14, e value 2.71, right? So the same way, if we observe this output, 3.14 and 2.71, right? Yes. There is a functionality square root, right? If you want to work with square root functionality, you don't know how to use square root, right? So Python is going to help you. There is a, just like print function, there is a function called help function. Help on what? Math.sqrt. Help on built-in function square root in the module math. Help on built-in function square root in the module math. Square root expecting one value x, it returns the square root of the text. We need to provide one value x, it returns the square root of the text, right? Yes. Okay. Now you got the syntax, right? Yes. Provide one value for this square root, it provides the square root of that value. Math.sqrt. Math.sqrt of 16. Run module. 60 square root of 16 is 4. Similarly, if you want to check any functionality, right? POW is the power function, power. How to use this POW functionality? So help, again you say help, right? Help on HELP, help on math.POW. Yes. Yes. Now run this. It gives you the help on this power, right? Okay, help on built-in function power in the module math. Help on built-in function power in the module math. Okay. Power expecting two values x comma y returns x to the power of y. See this? Return x to the power of y. X to the power of y. So this is the power symbol in Python. X to the power of y, right? Okay. Print power math dot POW of 10 comma 3, 10 to the power of 3000, right? Yes, it gives 1000 as the output. Run module, it's providing 1000 as this output, right? Yes. Okay, 1000, yes. Okay, in this way you can just work with any functionality, right? Any module, thousands of modules Python is providing for various modules for different environments, right? Any module, if you want to just, if you want any functionality, say help, get the help of it, right? And even generating graphs in Python is very simple, I said. So different types of graphs, normal graphs, bar graphs, histograms, scatter plots, stack plots, any kind of graphs we can generate in a simple manner. One example I show you, right? Without any knowledge on Python, can you be easily understanding this Python? Do you see any complex statements in this import math? Okay. So one generating graphs in Python, I'm importing a module called import matplotlib. Import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. So here within matplotlib is it's a module, right? So you, for plottings and visualizations within that we have got a built-in property pyplot. For any graphs, right, we'll be using this module matplotlib. Within that we have got a built-in property, right? Pyplot PyPlot is the built-in property. Instead of using this very big name always in your program code, always to use this big matplotlib.pyplot, instead of using this very big name, we can use alias name, shortcut name. As P, you can say PLT, you can say, right? Now PLT dot plot to plot a graph. I want X coordinates and Y coordinates. For example, plotting a graph. For example, age and incomes are there. Age values are given, income values are given. If age 10 years, 20, so not 10, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. So these are X coordinate values. And Y coordinate values, their salaries. $30,000, 40,000, 35,000. So just I'm showing you some sample examples of Python, right? Yes. Yes, I'm showing some, yes. Sample examples of Python, right? Python code, just generating a normal graph using Python, right? Just observe this code, right? Later we'll discuss everything in brief, but just how simple this Python statements: plot X coordinates, Y coordinate. This X coordinate values, list of X coordinate, list of Y coordinate values. So just this is a module in Python, inbuilt module. So we'll just import it and we can use it. Within this, you have got a functionality called plot. Yes, PLT. Now PLT dot show, right? It will show a graph. This 3 lines code only, right? Generating a graph. So here in the first line, import that module which you want and plot X coordinate, Y coordinates, PLT dot show. That's it. Graph will be generated like this. You will get a graph like this. Just 2 lines code only, right? Generating a graph. Observe this, only 2 lines. You are given X coordinate values, Y coordinate values. For 30, 30,000. For 40, 40,000. For 50, 35,000. For 60, it is 50,000, right? But I want some labels. I want some name for the X coordinate. I want some name for the Y coordinate. I want some name for the title, right? So just we have got built-in properties. PLT dot, PLT means this one, right? Shortcut name or alias name. PLT dot X label means X axis label. Yes, X axis label. I'm giving it as age. Y axis label PLT dot Y label, right? Yes. Income. These are built-in properties, right? Yes. And I want PLT dot title, right? Sample graph. Run module, right? Yes. Now check it. You will get this X coordinate, Y coordinates title. So what is this? Age, you can see. Income, you can see. This is sample graph, you can see, right? So in this way, you can generate graphs in a simple way, right? In Python. Here you are given plot function. If I give bar, bar graph will be generated. If I give HIST, histogram will be generated. So in this way, depending, so many functionalities are there, we can generate different types of graphs using Python. See, for example, one more small example. I'll just copy this, import matplotlib. Okay, one more small example. I want to generate another graph. As PLT, right? Yes. Now what I'll do, I want to check how are my sales in the month of August. So that for example, what are the products means, for example, mobiles. How are the sales of the mobiles? I'm taking the name of the mobiles. For example, Samsung, Vivo, Oppo, OnePlus. So I've got some mobile names like this. OnePlus. August sales. For Samsung, 45 sales. For Vivo, 10 sales. For Oppo, 15 sales. Okay. And for OnePlus, think that there are 30 sales. So now I want a plt dot py graph, py graph, right? From August sales, I want August underscore sales, comma, labels equal to mobiles. Labels equal to mobiles names, right? Yes, that's it. Now check a graph is generated. Plt dot show, right? A graph will be generated, right? Yes, check this. A pie graph will be generated in this way, which has got more sales. Samsung, next OnePlus, Oppo, Vivo, right? So just I'm asking you to just observe this coding part, how it looks, not like other programming language. Do you see any complex word in this? Mobiles, August sales, pie graph based on the sales and so and from tomorrow I'll be just going with the technical part, right? Okay, the batch will be starting. Python software. Tomorrow my discussion will be Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes. Right? So I'll stop for now and we'll continue tomorrow, right? More discussion. And one more thing, this batch, once again, students were asking, right? So this batch timings, once again, I'm confirming it, right? First, for the first 10 days, it will be at 7 o'clock, right? Later, it will be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Yes. For the first 10 days, the batch timing will be at 7 o'clock as we are discussing now. Later, after 10 days, the timing of this batch will be at 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Yes. Fine. So I'm stopping here. Okay. Any queries you got, anyone, right? Okay. So tomorrow we'll go with the technical parts, introduction to this Python, Python software foundation, versions, installations, execution modes, the other things, right? Yes. You can follow the same link for tomorrow's session. Yes. Yeah, morning all. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear? where the screen is visible or not, right?
Yeah, your voice is clear on screen also.
Fine, thank you. So today just I'll be discussing about fundamentals of Python, Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, and Python execution modes, right? Python, you need to know something about PSF, Python software foundation. PSF. It is a non-profit organization devoted towards Python community, devoted towards Python community, right? Yes. It was launched in the year 2001, right? Yes. And the main objective of this PSF, right? The objective or aim of this version to foster the development of Python. Okay. In the year 2005, right? PSF, Python Software Foundation, received Computer World Horizon Award. In the year 2005, PSF received Computer World Horizon Award. The president for this PSF is nothing but the same personality who have introduced or developed Python, Guido van Rossum. Guido van Rossum is the personality who introduced or developed Python, is the same personality who is the president for this PSF. Okay. Headquarters, where are the headquarters located? Headquarters, right? In Delaware, yes. Delaware, USA. Official website for Python. Official website, right? Python.org. Python.org, right? Yes. Okay. Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. So something about Python versions now, right? What are the versions of Python? Before I go with the Python installation, right? Python versions. Python 1.x. The first Python, okay, 1.x means 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So the Python version like that, introduced in the year 1990. Python 2.x version. In the year 2000. It was introduced in the year 2000. Python 3.x version. Introduced in the year 2008. The version that what we are using currently is 3 version, right? Python 3 version we are using. Okay, latest version of Python. Latest version of Python. Latest version is Python, like Python 3.11. Stable version of Python. Stable version of Python, right? Python 3.7. Previous stable version is stable version means mostly used version. What is it? Mostly used version. Python 2.7 is mostly used. So Python 1 version, 2 version, and 3 version, right? 3 version was introduced almost like 14 years ago, right? Still we are running with 3 version. 3.11 is the latest version. Stable version is 3.7, right? Yes. Python installation. Now, now check this installation of Python, right? Yes. So before I install, right, go into settings, apps, and features. I'm uninstalling. I'm removing this again. I'll try to reinstall this Python. So Python provides different softwares for different environments, right? For Windows, for Linux, and for Mac OS. For Linux, there is no need of any separate installation, right? By default, Python comes as inbuilt within this Linux operating system. So no need of any separate installation for it. Windows provide, see, Python provides different softwares for different environments. For Windows also, it provides two softwares. One for 32-bit Windows, one for 64-bit Windows. If your Windows is 32-bit, you're supposed to download 32-bit Python software. If it is 64-bit, you are supposed to download 64-bit Python. How will you check whether your system is a 32-bit or 64-bit? Okay, minimize this, let this go. Go to your desktop. And say properties. What it is, 64-bit operating system, right? If it is 32 bits, okay, 64-bit operating system. Check it whether it is 64-bit or 32-bit, right? Yes, first. If it is 64-bit, right? Yes. Windows 7 means you should go with the older versions of Python, right? Not, see, 1 second. I'll show you, right? So uninstallation successful, right? Uninstall was successful, close it. Yes. Now go to this Google, check, right? Yes. What is the official website of Python? Python.org. Python.org is the official website from where we can download Python and we can see the documentation for each and every Python release, right? Yes. Okay. This is what Python.org, PSF. PSF means Python Software Foundation, right? Yes. Python Software Foundation. Just now I was talking about this, right? About the sponsorship, memberships, donations, volunteer, these things. It's a community, right? Now go to this Python, say downloads. In this downloads, if you see, okay, see here clearly, can you see here? Note Python 3.9 plus cannot be used on Windows 7 or earlier. Yes, Python 3.9 or plus cannot be used in Windows 7. So go for 3.8. If anybody working in Windows 7, go with Python 3.8 version. So downloads, all releases you can click. Don't go for active Python releases. Go for looking for a specific release. Looking for a specific, go for this. Looking for a specific release. So select this 3.11, right? Python 3.11, the first one. Okay, October 24, 2022, right? Yes. Almost like 1 month ago it was released. 3.11, you can select it. You can just click 3.11. Right? Scroll down, scroll down. Yes. You got Windows installer for 32-bit, you got the Windows installer for 64-bit, you got. Yes, click this 64-bit if it is 64-bit, if 32-bit, select 32. So your software size is 24 MB, right? Yes, your it's done. Download is completed, right? Yes. So that exe file, whatever that exe file you are seeing, right? .exe file. Okay. Double click the exe file, which if it is downloaded, otherwise go to the downloads folder and click the exe file. You will get a window in this manner. We will get a window like this. Which version for Windows 7 means? Yes. Windows Python 3.8 version is need to select. You selected 3.11, right? For Windows 7, select 3.8 or 3.7. Three 3.8 you can select. Okay. So you will get this window like this. At the bottom, add Python to path. Select it. Add Python to path. Go for customize. Go for what? Customize installation. Go for customize installation. So documentation, people, all this, right? Nothing to select in this. Nothing to select. Yes. Say next. Here also nothing to select in this. See your installation location where it is getting installed. In C, uses Dell app data, local programs, Python 310. So it is installing in some subdirectories, right? But tomorrow, if you want to locate Python, it will be very difficult that where exactly this Python is installed. You need to enter into this multiple subdirectories. So remove all this and just install Python in my C drive. Just remove all that and just say C/. Okay, now just say install, that's it. So this Python 311, a folder is going to get created within the C drive, and within that 311 folder, right, Python is going to get installed. Say install, just it hardly takes 1 minute for installation, right? Once. Yeah, installation was successful, right? Now let us check whether it is successfully installed or not. To check whether it is successfully installed or not, right, go to the command prompt. At the bottom search panel, type cmd and say enter, right? You will go to the command prompt. Just type Python and say enter. Just type Python and say enter, right? Yes. Python version and Python interpreter got opened, right? Yes. Python version interpreter gets opened. So here you can type any valid statements and check, right? 4 plus 2, 5 into 3, x has 10. What is x value? X plus 2. So your Python is working, right? Working fine. So Python is installed successfully. Interactive mode. You can easily interact with Python step by step. Okay, if you want to come out of this, say quit. Okay. So yes, that is what installation of Python, right? Say, and if anybody wants to install, see here, if you're working with older version of Linux, then you may have older version of Python within it. But if you want to update with the new version, right, you can just use this command, right? We install everything from the root user, right? That's why you go for sudo apt-get install. Python 3.11 or 3.10. Okay. apt-get install Python 3.11. This command is going to install the latest version of Python in your Linux machine, right? Yes. Now Python execution modes. Python execution modes, right? 2 modes of execution. Interactive mode and batch mode. Python supports two modes of execution, interactive mode and secondly it is batch mode. Two modes of execution, right? Yes. So interactive mode means just now I was talking, right? You can interact with Python statement by statement. Yes, by every statement it gives the response. Here we directly type. Right? Python statements on the interpreter. And the user can easily interact. Right? And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. And the user can easily interact with Python statement by statement. This interactive mode advantage, the advantage is to test the functionalities of Python. And to learn Python. To test the functionalities of Python and to learn Python, right? Yes. If you doesn't know about any particular functionalities, right, you can just type on this interactive mode and you can just by seeing the response you can understand, right? And to learn Python as a beginner, as a learner, right, Python interactive mode works better. And batch mode means like just like other programming languages, we write batch of statements and save it by using .py extension. Here we write a batch of statements. Within the editors or IDEs. Integrated development environments. Within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py extension. And later submit to Python. We write batch of statements within the editors or IDEs and save it by using .py and later submit to Python. What are the various editors where we can write the Python code? And what are the various IDEs? In real time, we use IDEs, integrated development environments, right? So what are the various editors where we can create a Python file? We can write Python code is within the notepad you can write. Yes. Within the notepad, within the edit plus. Various editors, notepad and edit plus within the Windows environment, VIN Nano within the Linux environment for creating a Python file, for creating a .py file, right? Yes. PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter Notebook, yes. So various IDs like PyCharm, PyDev, Komodo, Spider, Eclipse, NetBeans, Jupyter, Autumn, VS Code. You may ask a query, right? Why these many IDs for Python? Why not one or two? Because Python used for different environments, right? Integrated Development Environment. ID full form is what? Integrated Development Environment. So in real time, we use these IDs, right? For developing applications or projects in Python. So we have got many IDs for Python. Among all this, PyCharm is the mostly used one. Mostly used ID. So why this many IDs? Because Python is used for different environments or different domains, right? Okay, it is used for different environments. For data science, for big data, for networking, for animations, for game development, for all this, right? So for every environment uses some, for example, for data science, Jupyter Notebook is mostly preferred. Okay, Jupyter Notebook is mostly used. Spider ID is used. For big data also, Spider and Jupyter is mostly used. For typical web applications, right? Like PyCharm is mostly preferred, Autumn is preferred, VS Code is preferred. So in this way, different environments using different IDs, right? Yes. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application. Developing the first Python application within a editor. Developing the first, okay, within a editor, right? Yes. Example. Okay. Example within the notepad. Open notepad, right? Open notepad and type the following Python statements. First Python application within editor and type the following Python statements. X value is 10, Y value is 20. Okay, so just I'm taking two values and performing some kind of arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, right? As we didn't discuss anything about Python fundamentals, right? Yes, just I'm performing per arithmetic operations. By taking two values, I want to perform arithmetic operations. Right, open notepad. Sample1 dot py. I'm just saving it as sample1 dot py. Yes. Save as sample1 dot py. Now submit this file to Python. Submit this file to Python as writer. Go to the command prompt. Go to this command prompt and just type Python. Just type what? Python. And give the path where your file is available within the C drive. 7 a.m. right? Within the C drive / 7 a.m. Python 7 a.m. right? Yes. Within that sample1 dot py and so just say enter. You'll get 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. You got the output, right? Yes. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20, right? Okay. So I'm just writing some code within this notepad, Python code within the notepad, save it as .py extension, and now submit this file to Python as type Python and give the path in C drive, so and so folder, so and so file. Yes, but here, what is your observation? But here we are writing the code. But here we are writing the code at one place and executing at the other place. We're writing the code at one place. Within the notepad you are writing. And executing at the other place. But to write and execute at the same place. But to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment, right? We have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, which comes along with Python installation, using which but to write and execute at the same place, we have IDLE, which comes along with Python installation, using which execute at the same place. Yes. So here, understood, right? What are the various editors and what are the various IDs? So, but to write and execute at the same place, we have got IDLE, right? I'll show where to run, how to open this IDLE, right? So just I'll copy this code. How to open this IDLE means go to your start programs, check where your Python is available here, right? Python 3.11, right? Python shell or gets open, click this Python shell, right? File, new file. So here it will opens in interactive mode. You can type any valid statements, 3 plus 4. But I want to work with batch mode, means file, new file, write your code here itself and execute run module. Run module. You can run the code here itself, right? Save it first. Run module. Run module, right? Yes. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. 10 plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Understood, right? So here in this ideally, we can write the code here itself and we can execute the code here itself, right? Yes. So I was just discussing, right? So Python software foundation, Python versions, Python installation, Python execution modes, uh, working with editors, working with IDs. Working with IDs, I'll discuss later once we are done with a little bit of technical content, right? Yes. So here, if you want to write a Python code within a notepad, right? First open notepad, type your Python code, this whatever you want to write, and save it, save as sample1.py, save it. Now submit this file to Python. Now submit this file to Python. How to submit the file to Python? Go to the command prompt, cmd you type and type Python there, and give the path in which drive, in C drive, in which folder, Python, which folder, what is the folder name, and what is the file name, right? Yes, file name sample1.py, right? So you got so here just specify Python and give the path, entire path of the file name, the folder name, and the drive name. Say enter. Ten plus 20, 10 minus 20, 10 into 20, 10 by 20. Understood, right? This, and if you want to work with IDLE, right? If you here, what happens? You are writing the code in the notepad, but you are executing in the command prompt, right? But to write and execute at the same place, right? So we can just go to this IDLE. We go to this IDLE, right? Yes, where it is available, wherever Python is installed, right? So within this Python 3.11, if you click it, the first thing is you see IDLE. Python shell gets opened. So within this cell, this is your cell, right? If you want to work with interactive mode, here you can type and execute. And if you want to work with batch mode, say file, new file. Okay. Here itself, we can write the code, save it by using .py extension and run itself. Run here, run module, right? Understood. Okay, so understood, right, everyone? So you can install Python in your systems, and not only that, Python can be installed in any environment, right? Windows, Linux, Mac OS, and even for the Mac OS also, you can see that download is available. If you go and check here, right, in this python.org website, can you see here for Mac OS 64-bit universal installer for Mac OS. For Linux, I said there is no separate installation. Okay, we can by default Python comes, but if you want latest version, you can just use that command. I said. Yes, and we have got editors and IDs. Editors like for Windows and for Linux, right? A Notepad and Edit Plus for Windows, VA Nano for Linux. Creating a .py file and submitting to this. Okay, and we have got ideally where we can write and execute at the same place, right? Yes. Yeah. So any queries you have got as part of today's session, like installations, versions, execution modes? Tomorrow I'll be entering into the technicals of Python data types and variables. What happens internally when we store a variable in Python? How to how to print its value, how to print its address, how to print its type. So I also said I'll be discussing modules related to different domains. See, some modules related to database, some modules related to operating system, some modules related to regular expression, some related to date time, some related to data science, some models related to big data, some related to graphics, and how to create our own modules. Everything we'll be discussing, right? Apart from this, we'll be discussing procedural oriented programming, object oriented programming, scripting, right? Everything I'll be discussing. You can just go to the course content. Yes. Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session at same time using the same link, right? Yes. So Python for writing automation scripts, right? Python within this AWS, in robotics, in IoT, right? Python is mostly preferred for writing automation scripts. Python is one of the best language with vast variety of libraries.
Sir, how is memory managed by Python, sir?
Yeah.
I mean, how does Python manage its memory?
Yes, yes. So tomorrow you can just understand those, right? What happens internally whenever we define some variables. Automatic memory management in the Python, right?
Hello,
Yes, yes.
sir. What is the duration of this Python course?
So total in brief about Python core and advanced, it takes 2 to 2.5 months.
Okay, sir.
So only for Python core and advanced, it is 2.5 months. And for if you go for total full stack course, it's a total full stack, right? Okay. For Python, the see here, 1 second. Observe this. So as part of this course, you'll be learning Python, right? Python core advanced and application oriented modules. The duration like nearly 70 hours we'll be discussing, like 2.5 months it takes, 2 to 2.5 months. And the fee structure is 5K for it. And apart from this Python full stack, if you want to go, means you'll be in brief, you'll be given knowledge on this UI technologies, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, plus Django framework. Plus REST APIs, plus project. So for all this, other than for all this, it's 5K only, right? So combinedly it's 10K if you go for full stack, right? Yes. So will we discuss UI technologies in brief, not like overview, HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, Django, REST APIs, and project, right? Everything. So it also for this is for 2 months. Python also for 2.5 months, right? Totally like 4 months to 4.5 months it takes for entire thing. If you want to go parallelly also, you can go parallelly. While updating Python, you can go with UI technologies parallelly, right? So, and Django introduction, those things, everything also, by the time you complete UI technologies, right? Python core gets completed. When Python cores get completed, you can go with Django also parallelly. So that in parallel, if you go 2.5 months, it gets completed, 2.5 to 3 months. So there are some weekend batches also available. In weekdays, you can go for Python. Weekends, you can go for Django. Yes. Yes. Any other queries, right? Anyone? So every recorded video you will be getting, every session is video recorded. You will be getting the recorded video and soft copy of the notes. Topic wise, you'll be getting this, whatever I'm discussing, right? The notes will be. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Would you give the some assignments for practice of Python after
Yes,
the session?
yes, definitely. Once we enter into the technicals, right, I'll provide you the assignments task.
And sir, is in this 5K is the use of Python is completely covered in AWS?
So here Python used for different environments, right? Python used for different environments, right? In networking, it is used in big data, it is used data science, it is used in testing, it is used in animations, it is used. So different domains it is used, right? I said I'll be discussing some domains. How to, we have got modules, 89,300 modules are there. How to explore a module. For example, if you are from data science background, you'll be exploring some 10 modules. Only how to explore a module, how to use its properties, how we can check its functionalities, how we can get help on its module, and how to reload, how to reuse. And if okay, in this way, if you want to explore the module, right, you'll be learning in this course how to explore a module. So you can just explore. If you go to any environment, you will be able to explore that module.
Okay, sir.
So for that, we require Python knowledge. Yes.
Sir, there is a problem with installation.
What is it?
I install when we first saw downloads, when we first press downloads, there come installations for Windows. I installed that again. You told to install the below one.
Yes.
So then I deleted the one that is already installed, and then again when I am installing, it came like modify setup. Now what to do?
Modified setup means you have not installed it. Uninstallation means how will you uninstall? Go to the settings, apps, and select your apps. So which one you want to remove it. Select which you want to uninstall, right? So Python 3.11.
Not present, sir. I saw it.
So you need to uninstall this.
And
Click it and uninstall it.
actually, it is not present, sir. And I have deleted from the C drive.
Share your screen. Can you share the screen?
Actually, I'm using two devices. Wait, sir. Let me show.
Now what is your problem? Yes. So in that Python is not available. Uninstall, you click and uninstall it, right? Yes, setup failed. Close it. Not startup apps, right? You where you went startup apps, uninstallation, not that, not this, right? Go to settings, go to your Windows settings, apps, in that select apps. Okay, this only, right? In that Python is not available. Which version you have selected? 64-bit 3.11. Select it, and if trying to install already, you have got the downloaded file. Click the downloaded file. What happened? Modify, repair, uninstall. Modify you say. Okay, next you say. Next install you say. Close it. And now work with Python. Go to command prompt. Type Python there. Command prompt. Open command prompt. CMD you type in the search. CMD. Type Python there. Type Python. Enter. Working, right? Some statements with 3 plus 4 is 6. Enter. Enter. 3 plus 4. It's not plus, right? Plus 3 plus 4. Enter. Yes. It's working, right? Your Python is working, right? Yes. So 1 second. You are seeing what is your query here? Okay. So you can work with this Python. Okay, Python version. Okay. For that you need to set. Okay, you are not selected. See, once again, while installation, if you are not selecting that add Python to path, right? It's your older version, older Python path will be taken. I think you have already installed Python 3.10.5. The tomorrow session I'll say, right, how to set path. Okay, in the tomorrow session I'll say you that how to set path for this. So any version, right, Python 3.9, 10, 11, anything is fine to work with, not a problem. Python 3.9, 3.10, 3.11, any version can be used. For you, how we can set the path means go to environment variables. We need to give the path of Python 3.11 in that. If you have forgot to give the path. Okay. Fine, not a problem. So okay, tomorrow we'll continue. So everyone try to install it. Still, if anyone has got problem, so tomorrow you can intimate me, right? So I'm stopping for now. Meet you tomorrow, right? Same time, same link. Yeah, morning all. So today and my discussion will be on data types and variables. Data types and variables. Every organization use case has got data and operations, data represented using data types or variables. Data representing using data types or variables. Operations represented using operations represented using functions. Data represented using data types or variables. Operations represented using functions. Okay. In Python, we have got a dynamic data types, right? Yes. In Python, we have got, as compared with other programming language like C or C++ or Java, right? Python has got a dynamic data types. In other programming, if you want to define X as 10, compulsory we need to say int X, right? Float Y, Z equal to string. So without this data type defining, we cannot create variables X, Y, Z here. Without the data type defining, we cannot define the float of Y. Okay, but in Python directly we can say X as 10, Y as 4.5, Z as hello, right? We can directly say X as 10, Y as 4.5, Z as hello. What type of variable X means? Based on the data type defining, we are saying it as int. What type of variable Y is means float type. What type of variable string means? Yes. X equal to 10, X equal to 10. X equal to 10, right? Okay. What type of variable X is here? What type of variable X is means integer type. Why it is integer? Because you have assigned a integer value to X. If you are based upon what value you are assigning, if you are assigning integer value, integer variable gets created. Integer variable gets created. Type of X will be integer type. Type of Y is what type? What type of variable you have assigned to it? Float variable. Type of Y will be float. Type of Z is what type? str, string type. So type of X is integer, type of Y is what? Float, type of Z is what? String. Based upon what value you are assigning to X, what value you are assigning to this, right? Type of Z will be string type. So if you are assigning a list type, for example, W equal to a list 10, 20, 30. So here you, as you are assigning a list of values to W, type of W will be a list. Yes. So based upon what value you are assigning, right? Based on the value assigned, the variables are getting created. So here I'm going to discuss 4 cases now. Understand these 4 cases. What happens internally whenever we defining some variables here in Python? Case 1. Defining a variable. X equal to 10. So whenever you say x equal to 10, internally one object gets created. Internally one object gets created with value 10 with some address. The address is given to x. X equal 10, an object created with value 10 with some address. Object holding single value. Object holding single value. Defining a variable x equal to 10, object holding single value. And here, okay. Three things you need to understand here. What x is storing? What x is storing means don't say x is storing the 10. X stores the address. X stores the address. If I say print x, right? If I say print x, prints the content. Prints the content at that address. Prints the content at that address. What is the content at this address? 10. Next, if you want to print the address, right? ID function, ID of x, prints the address of x. Prints the address of x. One zero three zero 70. Type of x, prints the data type of x. Prints the content at that address. Prints the address of x. Prints the data type of x. Data type of x is what? Data type of x is, sorry, it is integer type. Yes. So printing the content, printing the address, printing the type. Three things you need to understand here. Printing the content, printing the address, printing the type. Type of x is what type? Integer type. Yes. That is case one. Now observe this case two, right? Now you need to answer, try to answer, right? X value 10, Y value 20. X value 10, Y value 20. How many objects are created here? X value 10, Y value 20. How many?
Two objects.
Two objects created, right? For 10, one object with value 10. Okay. The address Y equal to 20, one more object with value 20 is created. Okay. Two variables. Okay. Try to, everyone try to answer. Print x. What is the x value? Yes.
10.
Print x is what? 10. Print ID of x, address of x.
103070.
10. See, I'm getting sound from someone. Yes. If you have got background noise, you can just give a response to chat panel. Okay. Print address of x. Print x 10. Address of x means 103070.
Sir,
Type
how
of-
you are taking 103070?
see whenever I'm taking some random value. So whenever you create a value 10, right, it is going to occupy some memory location, right? It is going to
Okay.
occupy some memory address, right? That memory
Okay.
address it will return. Generally print address of x means that address will return. For example, I have taken
Okay.
print a type of x. Type of x will be what type? Integer type, as you have assigned integer value to x. Now print y, try to answer. Print y is what? It goes to this address and prints that value at that address. 20. Address of y?
10480.
104080. Type of y? Type of y will be what?
Int.
Okay. Two different variables with two different values, then two different objects with two different addresses are created. Observe this case 3 now. Understood that this case to everyone? Two different variables with two different values, two different objects with two different addresses. Case 3. X value is 10, y also 10. Now try to answer. X is 10, sorry, x is 10, y is 10. Yes, x is 10, y is 10. How many objects are created? Two objects or one object?
Two objects.
Observe carefully here, only one object is created. Only one object with value 10. 103070. This address is given to x. Before creating object for y, it checks any object with value 10 is already available. If already available, the same address will be given to y. Don't think like for one more object with value 10 gets created. If x is 10, y is 10, z also 10, right? Don't think like three objects with value 10 will be created. Only one object, and the address will be given to x, the address will be given to y, the address will be given to z. Okay, now x, y, and z, they are sharing the same content intent. They are sharing the same address, right? X, y, and z, they are sharing the same content intent. They are sharing the same address, right? So here, yeah, if you say print x, print y, print z, they are going to print 10 only. Type of x, type of y, type of z. Type of z is what? Integer type. Address also same, right? Print x, type of x, type of y, and type of z. Integer type. Address of x, address of y, address of z. 103070, right? Yes. Okay. So here, three different values. So three, for example, if X value 10, Y value 20, Z value 30, how many objects? If X is 10, Y is 20, Z is 30.
Three
How many?
objects.
Three objects. If 10, 10, 10, only one object. Means what is your observation? If the values are different, multiple objects. If values are same, only one object, right? Yes. Now observe this case 4. X value 10, Y is X is 10, X is 20. Address we want to give. For example, whenever you store something, right, it is going to take the address. It is stored at so and so memory location address. Observe this, how this address, we won't give any address. If you are storing any video, means in your system, right, it's going to occupy some memory, right, that address. So here also, whenever you are storing that X equal to 10, it's going to be stored in the memory. At what memory it is stored? What is that memory address location? It is going to get printed. We don't need to give it. If you say print address of X, where exactly it is stored, that is going to get printed. Print ID of X means it where exactly it is getting stored, that address location will be written. So here X is 10, X is 20. Now try to answer everyone. How many objects? Previously XY, now X and X on. Yes, how many objects? For 10, one object. For 20, also one object. Now print X means what is the X value it prints? 10 or 20 or both? Print X means what is the X value it is going to print?
20.
Anyone?
Ten or 20 or both? Always it prints the latest value, right? 20. Print ID of X means the latest address 108070. Print type of X, integer type. So it always prints that. Okay. Is there any possibility of printing the value 10? The previous object value? Print X, address of X, type of X. Okay, integer type, right? Yes. So what happens to the previous object means, to understand this, what happens to the previous object? Yes. There is a small concept you need to understand. Garbage collector. You need to understand garbage collector. What is garbage collector? As of, it's too early to discuss this concept, but as of now, I'll just discuss the overview about it. Garbage collector, what it does. Later, as part of this course, we'll be discussing in brief with multiple examples, right? So I'll go back to this case 3 to explain about garbage collector. Removes unused or unreferred objects. Removes unused or unreferred objects from the memory. Which objects you will say it as unused or unreferred objects? Which objects you are going to say as unused or unreferred objects? Object whose reference count. Objects whose reference count becomes 0. Those objects we call it as unused or unreferred objects. Objects whose reference count becomes 0. Then immediately those objects gets removed. Then immediately objects whose reference count becomes 0, then immediately those objects gets removed from the memory by garbage collector. What do you mean by reference count becoming 0? What do you mean by reference count becoming 0? What do you mean by reference count first? Number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object. Number of variables pointing to an object or number of variables storing address of an object. Variables pointing or number of variables storing address of an object. Now observe this to make you understand. Now here, what is the reference count of this object to 10? How many variables are pointing to this object to 10? How many variables are pointing? Yes.
3.
3. X is pointing, Y is pointing, Z is pointing. So reference count is 3. 3 variables are pointing. Or how many variables storing the address? So X is storing this object address, Y is storing this object address, Z is also storing this object address. So reference count is 3. Now, how come a reference count becomes 0? How reference count becomes 0 and how object gets removed, right? To understand that, how reference count becomes 0 means Y value 10, slowly I have modified Y value to 20. Slowly I modified Y value to 20 means a new object with value 20 created with some address. Y equal to 20, Y equal to 20, an object created with some address, the address is given to Y. Now y is pointing to the new object. Y is pointing to the new object. Y is not pointing to 10. So now y is made to point to 20. Now reference count becomes what? Try to answer. Reference count becomes what? 2,
2.
right? Only x and z are pointing. Y was pointing, but y is pointing to the new object to 20. Slowly z value I modified to 30. Now again new object 30 got created with some address. The address is given to z. Now z is not pointing to this object to 10. Z is pointing to the new object, right? Now what is the reference count now? Yes, 1, right? Only x is pointing now. Only x is pointing. Previously 3 variables were pointing x, y, z. So reference count is 1. Only x is pointing to this object to 10. Slowly I modified that x value also to 50. Now x is pointing to the new object 50. X is not pointing to this. Reference count becomes 0. Previously 3 variables were pointing. Now 3 variables are pointing to 3 different objects. Now none of the variables are pointing to this object to 10. Reference count becomes 0, means 10 is unused object now. No variables are pointing. So it's 10 is unused unreferred object. So whenever reference count becomes 0, immediately garbage collector removes that object from the memory. Understood that, everyone? Yes. Initially reference count was 3. Slowly reference count becomes 0. So object gets removed. So these things again I'll discuss in brief in this course, right, later. So this object gets removed. Now coming to this case 4, coming back to this case 4, right? Yes. What happens to the previous object 10? Can I print its value? Means observe. Okay. Forget about this x equal 20 for some time. See that only x equal to 10. What is the reference count of this? How many variables are pointing? How
1.
many? Only one variable is pointing, right?
Reference count is also 1.
So reference count is one variable pointing. So slowly I modified x value to 20. Now this address is stored by x. Now this is not pointing to this. X is pointed to 20. So reference count becomes 0. It becomes 0 means garbage cutter removes this object from the memory. This is what happens internally. Okay. So the object gets removed. So there is 4 cases. Understood that, everyone? Case 1, 2, 3, and 4. In case 1, defining a single variable, right? Printing their address, printing their type, printing their content. In second case, 2 different variables with 2 different values, 2 different objects with 2 different addresses. Case 3, observe. X is 10, Y is 10, Z is 10. Only one object, only one address. Case 3, X is 10, Y is 10, Z is 10. Only one object, only one address. Now observe this case 4. If X is 10, X is 20, always the latest value will be considered, right? I'll show you all these 4 cases practically now. Yesterday I was saying how to install Python, right? Go to the start programs. So once Python is installed, you can see within this C drive. So okay, so here we can see within this Python 3.11 IDLE, right? Yes, click this IDLE, right? Yes. Python shell gets opened. Python shell gets opened in this way, right? Yes. File, new file. If you want new file, right? Yes. So now here case one, this is comment in Python. Comment means it's not executable. Okay. Case one. Defining a variable. X equal to 10. Print X. Type of X. First address of X, where exactly it is stored, the address